And we're live. And we are live. Oh. But aloha. You can call me Craw. Today is a special show because it is March 16th. Sam, please put that back. March 16th, 2022, and we are going to be doing a bunch of Lego tonight. We have 2 Lego projects we're working on. Those who do not know, I currently have the Lego World Map. It is a fun project. Yeah, it is here. Let's go back to Big Craw here. So I'm working on the Lego World Map. What is the Lego World Map? The Lego World Map is a massive world map. Of Lego. And when I'm seeing this is big, this is big. To give you an idea of how big it is, this is the height of what we've built so far. And this is roughly 10 of the 40 panels. So this is 1/4 of its actual width. So when this is done, this is roughly going to be the whole size of the screen. I've been building it as kind of a Lent project. There are 40 panels and 40 days of Lent. I just felt that was right. I've been posting it to Instagram every day's panel after we're done with it, and having people guess where are we in the world. So far, only one person's gotten any single day right. But yeah, we're going to be working on that first before we dive into our later project. Our later project is going to be continuing our Lego Treehouse. Yeah, so that's what we're working on today. It should be a very fun and interesting stream. I'm excited about it. Of course, that's not right thing. Stream elements. Setup bot. Next. Alright, let's check again. I should have tested this. Aloha. There it is.
Can I help you build?
What?
Please.
What?
Please.
Close the door at least. At a minimum, close the door.
Please, that's what always you say.
So Sam is going to be here to help us build.
Damn.
Let's see. There we go. That's upright. So we are working on
This. Okay.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to spread these out.
Let me just...
Wait, that still didn't work. Sam, hold on.
Hold on? Okay.
Change bot name. Let's bring that over here.
Oh, okay.
All right, did that work? Yay! Aloha, the bot is in the house.
Reporting for duty.
All right. So what we're doing is we have to, first things first, we have to get all these numbers out. Hold on. I want to put this microphone
Oh, we have a lot of 3s.
all the way over.
Chat, look
Here.
out. Wait, where is
That's actually blocking the camera.
Where is the camera?
Hold on. Okay, I'm not blocking the camera now. So what we have to do, Sam, we have to put these out so that we can see all of them.
And fun fact, in I think 4 years, I'm gonna be a professional Twitch streamer.
In about 4 years, you'll be a professional Twitch streamer?
Yeah, because you said 12 or 13.
I believe it is 13 when you can be a professional Twitch streamer.
And then watch out, everybody, for Blue Gamer 7. Where's the camera?
All right.
Oh, I'm pointing to it, right?
All right, so you can
Where's
see
the camera?
we have all the pieces. We have multiple cameras. We have this camera
Oh, this.
and this camera.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, now let's go back to our Lego building stream. So for those who want to know, the way that this particular one is done, this is kind of a Bob Ross approach. So as you can see, each one of these squares corresponds to one of these.
Oh, sorry.
So what we need to do, for instance, is you want to just paint by numbers. So in the upper right-hand corner, we're going to put a 6, like that. So that's what we're doing.
And then we put another 6.
No. Oh, you want to go across that way?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go across the top that way. So then it's a 3.
4, 7.
Yep, I'll do 7 as next.
3 again. 1. 3 ones in a row.
Then I'm going to do an 8.
Wait. No, that's not next. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do 1.
Yeah. Then I'll let you do all 3 of the ones.
Hey, Mom.
It's your turn for shower.
Cool.
Is it time for your shower now?
Yep.
All right. Close the door.
And also call me by my soon-to-be Twitch name.
Which is what?
And then we can put the 2 on. Yeah. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to start off with this because this is a fun set to start off with. I've been doing it as a kind of a Lent activity. Every day I've been building it and like not doing anything else while I build it. And it's been kind of an interesting growth to do it because I do so many multitasking things throughout the day that to like take the time and say, this is what I'm doing. I'm focusing on this and only this has been very interesting. Of course, I'm willing to admit that I'm not doing that right now, right? I should be not streaming this. I should be chilling. Not that streaming it is a stressful endeavor or anything like that, but what it is this particular set, the Treehouse, its bags have been very like 90-minute builds, and I like to get a 2-hour stream in. So I feel like doing this has been is a good way to get to that 2-hour. Aloha, House of Jacobs Gaming. And Aloha the bot still is not working. For those in the chat who do not know House of Jacobs Gaming, they are one of my mods. They're phenomenal. And why is Aloha the bot not working? Change bot name. Custom bot name. Change to Aloha the bot. Save. Send test message. Alright, we'll see if it works again. Who knows? How are you doing on this fine day? House of Jacobs Gaming. Where were we? 6-5. Hello, bot. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's up. 6-5. Usually what I've done when I've built this particular set, you're just fine. You're fooling around with Photoshop. You're photoshopping anything particularly cool. What I have been doing with this set for the most part is I've been... Generally, I'll do the white pieces first. The white pieces represent land. I'll do those pieces first, and then I'll work downwards. Today, Sam wanted to do this way, so it's a good opportunity to step outside the comfort line. It's House of Jacobs Gaming's photoshopping journey will be cool or junk. They will see. It's a thumbnail for the horror stream. I love a good thumbnail. Although, honestly, I have moved right past thumbnails, and I'm now doing... animated, and that's not animated. Man, my stream is failing right now. Let's go to upcoming streams. All right, it's moving now. We'll see if it keeps going. Today is going to be a great stream, despite the fact everything is currently breaking on me. Hey, look, Aloha the bot is at least talking to us. That's a good sign. Now, one of the interesting things is I have all of the colors filled to the brim except for the one. There's plenty more white pieces left. I just didn't want to bring them all in. So, House, where do you think we're building today? What part of the world do you think we're currently building? There's gonna be 5 of them across. You can see the whole design over there in the instructions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna need a 2. The 2 is an interesting piece because the 2's piece is to kind of give it this 3D effect to make it like pop up off the map a little more, and I really do enjoy that. So remember, the colors represent depths of the ocean. So it would be depths of ocean in here. There is no specific garbage heap in this particular one, so to speak. There is some land. The white pieces are land. That white is a country or countries or islands. And now we're gonna go to the next row. And it's gonna be 4, 5, 4 to start things off with. 4. 5, 4, and then a 4, 3, 6. 4, 3, 6. You have no idea. Oh, well. It's been interesting because, like, to see what people think are certain things. I mean, I know where this is in the map. This is Lower California is what you think this is. You think this is Lower California. So to give you an idea of scale, Alaska doesn't fill one of these up. To give you an idea of scale. Alaska was roughly a third of one of these. California is big, it's just not that big. All right, where are we? 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 6, then 7, 4, 6. Yeah. 7, 4, and 6. Aloha, Spring Fan S. Oh my gosh, how are you doing in here? Spring Fan, I want to introduce you to House of Jacobs Gaming and vice versa. First off, let me introduce Spring. Spring is a wonderful lawyer / mother streamer based out of one of the Carolinas, I think north, maybe south. A Carolina, that's really as much as I know. She plays this cool game called GeoGuessr, where she goes around Lego Maps and tries Google Maps and tries to figure out where she is. Spring, I want to introduce you to House of Jacobs Gaming. He is a fellow dad streamer. I know him from fighting words. I know him from doing, yes, you're always in Nevada. Always, every time. Just always say you're in Nevada. House of Jacobs Gaming is based out of Oklahoma. He does a lot of variety streams these days, a lot of horror streams, some VR streams, but I met him back when we both were just dance streamers. Just a wonderful dude. I always enjoy his company, and I always enjoy Spring's company, so I'm a pleasure to introduce to you. Yeah, Just Dance. It's been a while since we did Just Dance, my friend. 6. So since you're so good with GeoGuessr, Spring, do you have an idea of where in the map we are currently building? So this is the Lego World Map set. This is set number something, 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 something. And this is 1/40th of the globe. You can see what we're building over here. If you look at the big, let's go big instructions. So this is the big instructions of what we're building right here. Where in the world are we? If you're so good at GeoGuessr, where are we? Dun dun dun. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm gonna need 3 of these. These white pieces represent land. Yeah, it is. GeoGuessr is nothing on this challenge. Aloha, Unbearable Gamer. So, again, looking at this. This here is land, here's some more land, here's some more land, and here's a little island for you, Spring Fan. Think of the whole world. Where do you have like a little Y, a little blip, and an island? How are you doing, Unbearable Gamer? It's a pleasure to have you in the house, my friend. And then we're going to have a 2 and a 7 to finish out this particular row. You're not going to guess this. Well, don't worry. Almost every single day, people in my Instagram are are very, very off about where they think we're building today. It's been quite entertaining to see how far people off. Someone thought yesterday's was South America. I was like, oh, no, it's not South America. You're very, very off with your guess of South America. 358. That's true. It's helpful if you get that. It's helpful to get that. 8 is the next piece. I mean, I know where we are. I can see this clear as day. It is very obvious to me what the Y is, what the little 3 dots over here is, and what the little lonely island in the middle is. 364. I hope no one is doing anything that requires counting right now, because I'm going to be saying numbers a lot. 485. Aloha, Ember, Fry, how are them going? You think this is Japan? I could see it being Japan if it was the other direction, House of Jacobs Gaming. Like if it was down facing this way, I could see it being Japan. 1, and 2, the white on the map is a country much, much larger than Japan in size. Maybe population. But aloha, Ember. How's it going, my friend? Welcome into the chat. Australia. No, we hit Australia a while back. We're not on the wrong part of the globe for Australia. But Ember, pleasure to have you into the chat. It's always good to see you. For those who do not know Ember's another streamer here on Twitch. I've met them through other people's streams. They've been playing games like Pokemon, Sea of Thieves, Wildermyth, Wandering Village. I mostly know them through my good friend Zyla. Zyla is a friend of the stream. She may not be here. Italy. I could see it being Italy. You've been watching robots destroy each other all day, so you were excellent. I appreciate that. Nothing makes me happier than seeing robots destroy each other, particularly because that means they're not destroying us. Italy. No. It'd be interesting if this was Italy, because then there'd have to be, I don't know, other parts of the Mediterranean. And I guarantee you, the entire Mediterranean is going to fit on one square. Just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about. The entire Mediterranean will fit in one of these. Now, does the entire Mediterranean fit in one of these? That's an interesting question. Let me look. I'm going to cheat ahead. This is dumb, you're done guessing. Alright, let's see. Let's get to where the Mediterranean is going to be. So the Mediterranean is not going to fit on one because it's going to be split in the middle. So to give you an idea of when we get to the Mediterranean piece, this is the western part of the Mediterranean. You can see Spain here. This is the African continent. And this is Great Britain. To give you an idea of the scale, let's go Big Craw for this one. So again, Great Britain, Spain, Africa. That's the scale we're talking about. So again, let's look at big instructions. Where do you think that is? Yeah, it's a country. It's a country. Alaska actually was day 1, by the way. For those who are wondering what day 1 was. Day 1 was Alaska. Where we were on the 8. So we have 5, then 2 6s. 5 and 2 6s. 5 and 2 6s. Then a 7 and then 2 1s. It's multiple countries. I would say this contains 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 6 countries. At least 6 countries are on this map. I don't know this part of the world's geography well enough to know exactly how many countries there are here. All right, so then we have those 2, and then we're gonna have a 2 and a 4. A 2. Ember, slightly considering building your own after being out of competitive robots. Nice. What goes into building a robot for competitive robots? I've seen an episode of one of my favorite television shows, Spaced, where they built a robot and it looked super hard and fun, but it also was a sitcom. So I wouldn't take it as a documentary about what goes into building one of these robots. What goes into building a robot, out of curiosity? Nope, I did that wrong. It's a 3 and then 2 4s. So this is a 3 and then 2 4s. Oh, this is what I'm gonna do, so I can help them know what row I'm in. Nope, that's not helping. I'm just gonna highlight that, so that way I know that's the row that I'm on. That's when I need to go to my next row, I can. This actually is one of the first Lego sets that I've done where I realize how much easier it is to do it with the book than to do it with a computer, to be able to look at it. Because this is 1 for 1. I can lay this directly on top of the sheet and just slide over 1 row every time I've done it. Again, one of the reasons why I've done it columns as opposed to rows. 7. Aloha, Toa. Welcome into the chat, my good friend. How are you doing today? 7, 6, and then we have a 4 and a 7. Yeah, this has been a really fun, neat set to been building. Again, I'm on day 13, I think. That's 10. And I've got 2 over there. So this is 13. This is day 13. I'm doing good. I've really enjoyed building this. This would not be a good Lego set to build in like consecutively. Like, I feel like by the time I'm done with one of these squares, I'm like emotionally spent. I like don't want to build this set anymore. But then like the next day I sit down and say, okay, let's build the next one. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'm excited about building it again. And so from that regard, it's a good building challenge. This is interesting. I don't know exactly where this is geography-wise, but if the spot between these 2 that I'm putting on right here is what I think it is, I just think that is a really, really clever. Let's go big cross so you guys can see it more. So this is one thing, and this is something else. I don't know precisely where that is. I don't know exactly where that is. I have a hunch as to what that is on the map, and if that is what I think that is, I'd say that is a very, very clever thing that Lego has done. Because this is really just one landmass. So it's just very clever if that is what I think that is. Ember, if they had the space, tools, time, and money, they'd build a 250-pound death robot. But you don't, so you're going a smaller idea, but similar idea, but a smaller scale. What is a non-death robot? Asking for a friend. I actually, with one of the, so Toa, going off of what you're saying, I think one of the things that I would really have enjoyed with this set, and it would have been hard to do because some of these dots are entire nations. BattleBots, I'm talking, definitely, I'll look them up. I would have loved if they had made countries' flags. I think that would have been very hard for them to have done. But when I think about what I would do with this set if I were to customize it, that's what I would do. I would make countries' flags out of them. But I think that'd be very hard to do because some of these countries are tiny. Like, tiny. I guarantee you, one of these dots down here represents one country. I don't know which one does, but one of these dots represents one country. 4, 3, 4. 5 and 8. You can do printing. I know they could do printing, but that would jack up the cost substantially. Substantially, that cost would go up. Oh, stickers. Yeah, that would be very interesting to see if they tried doing this with stickers. A 3D printer, yeah. So that's one of the things I'm actually thinking about doing is if I ever feel like I want to change this map in any way. Another thought I had would be to build mountain ranges into this. And it wouldn't be hard. Even if I just kept white studs for the mountain ranges to just kind of show that elevation, I think would be very interesting. 8, 3, 6, 8, 10. Ooh, it's our first 10 on this square. Yeah. Another thing I wish they would have done is I wish it was all studs. I don't like the tiles. I wish it was all studs. 10, 3, 8, 5. Because one of the ideas I have, and if you have 20,000 Mahalo reward points just lying around, is I'm going to allow people to redeem 100,000 Mahalo rewards points, and I will build a custom minifigure of you and stick you on my map, wherever you want. I don't imagine many people are going to take me up on that offer. Let's see, where are we? 8, 5, 8. 6, and then our 2 ones. Got it. Now we're going to go one more row down here to the row that starts with 4, 6, 5. I will always remember 4, 6, 5 because that is the first 3 digits of my childhood telephone number. I'm not going to tell you the rest of it, or the zip code, or the area code, but I will always remember 4, 6, 5. There you go. Every time someone talks about a 3D printer, I forget which comedian made the joke. It might have been Steve Martin, but they said, step 1, buy a 3D printer. Step 2, print my own 3D printer. Step 3, return original 3D printer. I don't know how plausible that is, but I always thought that was kind of funny. Then 3 and 7. There's a lot of 7s in this square. I'm worried we're going to run out of 7s. Then it's an 8, 7. I look forward to the 4D printer. You never have enough time to let you print your own. Exactly. 8 and another 7. And then 4, 2 3s. And then 2 4s to finish out the row. So as you can see, we've now moved all of the land is now going to be over here on the next cell over here, which we're not building right now. But as you can see, we're now going to have mostly water down here, aside from one lonely little island and then one little blip of the land which gets right back into it. Is that supposed to be a emoji that just didn't come through? Interesting. All right, we're gonna go down here. We're gonna start with the row that's 4, 3, 5. Ooh, that was weird. Did not mean to. Nope, I don't want to do that. We'll do there. 4, 3, 5. 4, Cat on the keyboard. Cat on the keyboard could be a very good idea. You would know a lot about that, Toe, wouldn't you? 43546. She's being weird. What is your cat's name? Ember. All right. What were we doing? 4354 686. Called it. You have a lot of experience with your cat on the keyboard, Toa. 686, 335. 3. 30. Her name is Opal. We basically only call her Chunk too. That's cute. And then 737. 737. Then 655. It's interesting building it because, again, this is a set that is just so much easier with the little sheet under it. I mean, I'm getting through one of these in 20 minutes. I probably have seen her typing in Silas chat too. Probably have. I get through one of these in 20 minutes when I'm not on stream. Now, granted, I'm enjoying the conversation with y'all. I'm not trying to make it seem like you guys are slowing me down. I'm just saying that's how much easier it is to do this when you have the actual sheet in front of you. In fact, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Let's get out the book. This is going to be... Okay. There we go. All right. So let's see. We're going to start over here. And again, we're going to do columns because I find it's easier to do columns. Although this actually wouldn't be too bad. To do it from the bottom up like this. That would not be hard. 7, 6, 3. Because again, it's 1 for 1. It's the same size, so I can see specifically what color needs to go next. Just goes so much faster. You made your first series. Really? What did you make? What did you make? I love a good Lego of your own creation. Or a yacht. I would say the biggest mock I've ever built is my Lego Dimension stand, which you can't really see because I'm using my secondary camera. But over here, well, I can take it off the shelf. These are all my Lego Dimension people on a stand I built myself out of Lego. That is one of my proudest mocks. Where were we? Okay. See, it's so much easier. I know exactly where I left off to use the books. I don't know why I didn't want to use the book. The official Lego room of requirement does not work with my other Lego Hogwarts series, so you made your own. Oh. I was like, what is a Lego room of requirement? Because unfortunately, I am not much of a Harry Potter fan. But when you said Lego Hogwarts, that made a lot of sense. I actually, with this current series of Hogwarts sets, the fact that they can kind of go together and build like a larger set, my kids are really into Harry Potter. I've debated like just buying them all so that my kids can have a really cool ass Hogwarts eventually. But my wife doesn't want to spend the money on it. And I would spend the money, but she doesn't want to spend the money. Oops, that's the wrong one. Wrong one. It's got to be a 5. Yeah. I mean, technically my Winter Village is a mock. Because, like, I'm building it myself. And, like, I'm going to be building certain buildings myself that they don't have official sets for. But yeah. I think one of the problems that prevents my wife from wanting to get there is both of my kids are still in the phase where if their Lego set falls apart, to them, the Lego is now broken and they don't know how to build their own with it. They don't know how to repair it. So there's this element of this, the building fell apart. It's ruined. I don't want to play with it anymore. And so my wife sees that and just kind of goes, why are we spending how much money on this on these kids? Which again, I can't blame her. You had a new addition to your collection, but it's being rerouted to a 10-year-old Harry Potter. Oh, that's nice of you to do that. Yeah, and personally, again, because I'm not much of a Harry Potter fan, I don't invest a lot of my Lego budget in Harry Potter stuff. Especially when, I've got my other MOCs that I'm working on. Other things that I'm building. Like, I know as soon as I'm done with my Winter Village, I'm going to be like, oh, the Winter Village is nice and all, but what's going to be there when it's not winter? Right? I'm going to want to build a summer thing, and then I'm going to build a fall thing, and then I'm probably going to be a spring thing. And every couple months we switch it out. You want the big Hogwarts set, but you have no idea how to ever find a place for that. Call an Arctic Village, always snow all year round. It's a very good approach. You're healing your inner child by building the Lego sets you dreamed about having when you were a kid. That is definitely a well thought out plan. Because that's the thing, when I was a kid, we didn't have Lego sets that were this unique. We definitely had Lego sets. We definitely worked on them. We definitely modified them to be our own thing. But there's a big difference between what I'm able to do as an adult fan of Lego versus what I'm able to do as a kid. That I think really allows me to create bigger and better things than I ever did as a kid. You want to buy the Neptune Discovery Lab. I have no idea what that is, but I think this is a worthwhile check. Neptune Discovery Lab Lego. Oh my. Okay, so this is set $61.95. Lego $61.95. Images. Buy that. Buy that. That is amazing. Wow. I imagine this set's gonna be very expensive to buy too. Because I mean that's a unique base plate. God, I'm cringing just to even think about it. Bricklink. For those who do not know what Bricklink is a great way. $657 to buy it new. To buy it used, it looks like it's $109, but we have no idea what parts it's missing. So $81. Incomplete. Missing parts documented below. No box or instructions. What is it missing? These are all the parts that it's missing. So it's not missing that many parts. just a very, very long list of probably half the parts it's missing. $100 for 100% complete with minifigures and instructions. That's almost worth pulling the trigger on, man. Missing 2 minifigures and 1 spring for the crane bucket for $105. That's not bad, man. I mean, granted, it's $100. That's $100 that a lot of us don't have, but that's not bad at all. Hey, when you get that job, that's a congratulations present. Treat yourself. Only treat yourself if you can afford to. $47.34. Motorized Hogwarts Express was a dream set of yours. We have a Hogwarts. I didn't know if they ever sold a motorized one, but I tried motorizing it before I knew about Bricklink, and it was not good. But I do want to sit down and take the time to motorize it, because I do want Hogwarts Express to be a train that runs around my Winter Village. I think that would be cool. Motorized Hogwarts Express. Let's check that out. Let me finish up this row and then we'll check it out. 6533. Now, was that an official set that was motorized? So I find it interesting they would have sold a motorized set and then stopped selling a motorized set. It's an official motorized set. Let's check it out. Lego Motorized Hogwarts official. So 75. Yeah, so this one's how to motorize your 75955. Oh, here it is. Where was it? It is this set. It is 10132. 10132 Lego. So the big thing that jumps out to me, 10132. I love that it's motorized, but this isn't as an attractive of a train, I think, as the newer Hogwarts, where I'm curious what the instructions are. 10132 Lego instructions. Aloha, Ami. Where is it? Rebrickable, here's the instructions. So I'm thinking they buried it in here. No, I don't think they did. I think they buried the motorization all in the middle. Oh. This is the 9-volt trains. Yeah, so for those who do not know, Lego used to sell 9-volt electrified train tracks. So when you buy train tracks today from Lego, they are solidly plastic. And you actually have to build an engine and a battery pack in here. So what this is this is just a normal Lego train, and then you plug this into it, and then the power is drawn from the metal wheels which connect to the metal tracks. One of the things that Lego has done recently, which I think is interesting, is Lego Bluetooth train motor. No, it looks like you still need... So this is how it looks now. So this is the train. And then you have to bury this battery packet in there somewhere. So this is still easier. The version of Powered Up I have is the motor version, which you have to think of an IR receiver. You have to bury an IR receiver in here too. So that's going to be Lego IR receiver. So the system I have, IR trains. So the version I have is here, where you have your train wheels, then you have the receiver to get the signal from your remote control and a battery pack. No, I've seen it. It is a cool set. The problem is, again, let's go to Bricklink to see, again, because I'm not trying to rain on your parade. Brick. What was that? 10132. Set. Motorized Hogwarts Express. $618, which makes sense. It came with the tracks. That's a huge thing. That's a huge cost savings for it to come. Here, let's go. Okay, we're on big set. Then it comes with that, and it comes with just this loop, because these train pieces are not cheap. Set inventory. It is steep to get into it. So the 9-volt straight and the 9-volt curve. Let's open those up in new tabs so we can see how expensive those are. If you're gonna buy the curved, now it looks like 45 cents. They're not as expensive as I feared they would be. So it's not as bad. The 9-volt straight, how bad are those? Oh, here's where you're gonna get screwed. Let's look at our United States. So the curves are always gonna be cheaper. I forgot that. Curved is always gonna be cheap. You're starting at $5 per straight of the 9-volt. $5 per straight. This person is 83, so this is probably who you want to buy from at $7.50 per straight one. By comparison, Lego straight tracks. Let's go to flexible and straight tracks. We just need to get a part number. 7499. Let's go back to Bricklink. Set inventory. $0.78. 92 cents in Russia. You know, if you want to support the Russians. Let's go to more options. Seller location, United States. Generally a good idea. Yeah, it looks like you can get them relatively easily for under $2 a piece. So again, you're talking to pull off this Lego Bricklink set, which again, it is a beautiful set. I don't want to knock it all, because again, I wish I had the motorized system, because it's so much more efficient in terms of being able to build trains like this than to have to build and bury all the things I have to bury into a train. But it is so much more expensive to build that. Yeah. It is very cool. It is a very cool set. Mahalo for sharing that for me. Solution, build really curvy train layouts. Yeah. So my train layout actually is a very curvy one, because the train layout I have for my winter village is, it starts all flat and level here at the beginning, right? So it's level, then it curves and curves, and then it starts building up, and then it does a corkscrew back down. So I would say mine is maybe half of my pieces are curved because I have this corkscrew down, right? So as opposed to just 4 corners, I have 4 corners and then a whole circle and a half. Oh yeah, well, I have elevation, right? Like my highest point is taller than the train. Then it goes up and then corkscrews down. I had a video of it at one point. I don't know what I did with the video of it, but I made a video of it once. Let me see if I have, where I would have that video, if anywhere. I don't even know where I have it. Mahalo for being here, House of Jacobs Gaming. Everyone, please check out House of Jacobs Gaming. He doesn't do Lego enough these days, but he's a good friend of mine, and he always does high quality content. He's always pushing me to do greater things, not by saying, Craw, do better, but just by being himself and being an inspiring person. You really can't go wrong with House of Jacobs Gaming. Yeah, definitely. It's good to do that. It's good to give yourself those little rewards. That's awesome. I'm excited. I'm rooting for you to get that because I think that is great to be able to get one of those white whale sets. That's awesome. And 387. I love how I thought I would do this set in like 20 minutes and have like an hour and a half to work on the Lego Treehouse, and we aren't done yet. But we've had good conversation. We've had really good conversations. 376. Yeah, that is cool. That is, I wish, oh, I'm not even looking at that right now. Let's get rid of all of these. There we go. Oh, and back to the overhead cam. Conversations are fun, right? And that's the thing, like, honestly, if it took me 2 hours to do just the square and I got to talk to you guys and have a really engaging conversation, I'd have no problem with that, honestly. I would have no problems with that because I think that's the whole point of Twitch. The point of Twitch isn't for me to sit here quietly, build Lego, and have you guys just watch me. That would be cool, I guess. But the point is for us to connect with each other and, you know, interact. And I'm very curious if I can find that video of my train set that I did build, actually. So after we're done with this, I'm going to take 10 seconds. My childhood white whale set, if I had to pick one. So I'm substantially older than all of you guys. Let's just get that right out in the bat. You guys are talking about childhood sets that came out when I was a grown adult. So let's get that. I actually had, I probably can't remember sets that existed that I didn't have. So my white whale set would actually be a set that I had and I wish I still had, right? And it's probably the only Lego set that I remember having, that I remember thinking was so cool. And I loved that set. And then I went to college and it was, you know, you just go through that phase I think a lot of people go through where you're just like, I'm too adult and mature for Lego. I don't really want to do this or whatever. Yeah, and it probably sat in my mom's basement in my mom's attic for a couple of years, and then my mom donated it off to like some place that I really do care about, and I'm glad she donated it to. But it was the Space Monorail set. I love that set. It was such a cool set. Of all of the like times I spent time in my attic growing up, our playroom was the attic. My parents put down some baseboards and we just played up in the attic all the time. We would build huge space moon bases, and the monorail was always a big part of that. It was just always one of those things where it was like, how are we going to redesign the monorail, and then what were we going to build around to support the monorail? And that was the set. And I loved that set. Of all my childhood possessions that I no longer have, that is the one that I think hurts the most to know. But from a Marie Kondo perspective, the thought process that that is out in the universe spreading joy to someone else, that's special to me. It was special to me, and now hopefully it's being special to someone else. And I know if it was if I still had it, it would be somewhere in this office on a shelf. But just to think that some kid is like playing with that set and hopefully being inspired by Lego, that's awesome to me. Nice. I know you love that Bionicle, man. I know you love that Bionicle Toa. All right. So now that we're done, this is your last chance, everyone. What did we build? Where in the world is this? I'm going to tell you guys, but I'm going to give you a minute first. In fact, we're going to make it a poll. New poll. Where is this? Europe, Asia, North America, South America, or Africa? 1 minute, go. Where is this? I'm not even going to look at the results. I'm just going to see what you guys think this is. Where is it? I gave you all the continents except for Australia. This is not Australia. This is not Antarctica. This is one of those polls. And yes, I'm willing to admit, I didn't include any connecting regions, right? Like I didn't say the Middle East. I didn't say Central America. North, South, Europe, Asia, Africa. Didn't give me any other options. Where is it? We got a Y. We got an island. We got a blip of something. Where do you guys think this is? We're almost there. Poll has ended. View results. Only 2 people submitted guesses. That's good. So whoever said South Africa is the closest. This is Mexico. This is the Yucatan. This is Central America here. This spot right here, this is the Panama Canal. This is, what's that island? Galapagos Islands. And this is part of South America. So if we want to compare it to the rest of the globe of what we've built so far, nope, I already did that. It's going to connect in just like this. Canada, the United States, the Great Lakes, Florida, Cuba, Mexico. What's my... This is the only art set I've done. So to connect it to what we've built for the rest... I'm not going to connect it. But, like that. Cool. Now, only because we were talking, I'm going to see if I can find that video of what I've mocked up for my train set. I'm trying to think, where would that be? 9... Yeah, so this is the first art set I've done from Lego. I've really enjoyed it. Again, I couldn't do more than one of these squares a day. That would drive me absolutely crazy. We can slide that over there. All right, let's see. Let us go to File Manager. Let's go to OneDrive. Videos. So this is going to be... Yeah, it was a great set. I feel like it's November 2017. All right, so maybe it's after then. Let's go to... I don't think it was 2018 they started working on this. We'll double check. Nope. March. I realize I probably should not be looking at it on here because this is still the age where my kids took baths. And every now and then my wife and I would film them taking a bath. And even though it's a thumbnail, there might be some unintentional stuff that I don't need showing up on the internet. Problem is I can't really see it that well. I'm looking for a thumbnail that shows just our basement. Nope. I don't think I worked on it this late. I'm not gonna spend forever looking for it. I just wanted to double check to see if I can potentially find it. Nope. All right, we seem to be past the portion where we were filming our kids in the bathroom. We seem to be past that. December. I mean, it's weird to see old videos of my kids. Nope. All right, we'll go to 2019. I don't think it was this late. It's not gonna take too many seconds to go through all of them, though. Wait. All right, so this was my original design of it. Let's open it in the VLC. So as you can see, this was our original design. This was on a Thomas the Train table. So this is where we started. All right, so we would have passed it. It would be after this. But then we realized that's going to be too small to really build anything but just the train. Oh, Ami Mahalo for contributing to that. All right, March. Here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, this is a long video. So here it is. This is the whole layout. And then here's the corkscrew here. And then it goes into this long flat portion all the way to the other end. And then there's this very slow climb up. Yeah, that's it. So again, imagine doing all that with those electric pieces. Oy, that would be very, very expensive. All right, let's move on to our next set that we're gonna be building. Because that took us an hour and 4 minutes. And I didn't think it would take that long. So we're moving on to... our Lego Clubhouse. As you can see, we have built the bottom part of the tree. You wonder if you could bug your dad to see if he has pictures of his Mega Bloks up. There you go. Yes, this is the treehouse. I call it the clubhouse, but it's the treehouse set. We built the bottom portion of the tree. Ami was here last time when we built more up here. And today I think what we're doing is we're actually going to be building the little clubhouse. Actually, one of the clubhouses is what we're building today. So let's start off by opening the bag. Yeah, the swing is cool. That was a touch I really appreciate that they did. Okay, we got emptied out that bag. Even though we didn't have Lego, he had so much Mega Bloks Dragons. Excellent, excellent. I think that is the best. I think that is the best. I need something to put those pieces in. There, I'll use this. The small bags, I just like to leave like this. I think it takes too much work to move these in some sort of organized fashion. I just would rather do this. Bear Shark, welcome into the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a shout out to the Only Bear Shark. I met them recently. They're awesome. Let's see. I want to make sure I line this up right. Ooh, I'm not even in the right view. There. You know, this is so much more. I was working on my properties. Configure video. I was working on my white balance, and I just don't think it turned out very well. I just think it is too. Filters. Where's my white balance? I had it earlier. Oh, here it is. I think it's just too yellow there. All right, we're gonna go back to that. I don't think that's the right green, but it feels better color-wise to me. Welcome in, Bear Shark. Everyone say aloha to them. Apologize for that. I'm coming over a cold. I've had it for almost a week. I don't want to die. You're right. I don't want to die. You used to have so many Lego train tracks. You fill your parents' basement with your train setup. Exactly. I think that's important. All right. So let's start getting these into some sort of order so that when we're building, we can actually put them together. Yeah, I don't want to die on camera. Off camera, preferably, but not on camera. You passed them on to friends when you moved out. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens, I think, to a lot of us, is we don't have time to... We don't have space to store Lego. So we pass them on to people who do. Actually, a lot of my collection has come from parents who are selling off their kids' sets, parents who know I'm into Lego and have gifted me their kids' sets. So I always love to get extra sets. And I always think it's kind of fun to see what were the sets that people had and try to figure out what they were. I always think that's kind of fun to do. I think it's a good exercise to try to restore some sets. I've restored some good sets from people that way. We have another one of these A pieces, which is good. We have a third one.
You're already done with the world map.
Yeah, we finished the world map already. Are you done with screens? Is that why you're in here?
Mm-hmm. Permission.
All right, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, say aloha to my son, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
He has permission to be here, as he says very smugly that he has permission to be here. Let's take a poll in chat. New poll. Does Sam actually have permission
Really? We have to pull out a poll?
to be here? He totally does. He should be in bed. What else? What are my third options?
Oh wait.
What? Okay, you're gonna type the third one. You're not actually typing anymore. You've run out of space. There's only so many characters. You can't write a whole essay, Sam.
Fine. 4 holes.
Okay. There you go. 1 minute for the poll, everyone. Does Sam actually have permission to be here?
Yeah, and the third one's pretty zesty to vote for.
Yeah. So Sam, you know what we're doing right now?
You're building.
We're trying to put these pieces.
Yeah, no, I was noticing you were doing that.
Oh, okay.
Just started over.
So that like we can find the pieces.
So this is same. This is a window.
I see Shantella popping in here, ladies and gentlemen. Give a shout out to Shantella.
Can we see?
I actually was looking. Recently, I was trying to figure out who is my first follower.
It's probably Par with a silent G.
Par with a silent G is someone who has been here a long time.
Like a long, long time.
A long, long time. But Shantella has been here almost as long. Shantella, mahalo for the gift sub. Tonix Plays is going to greatly appreciate that. Oh wait, you continued it. Mahalo for that, my good friend. As I say, anytime someone financially contributes to my channel, I donate all the proceeds.
Uh-oh,
to
it's a tie. What happened?
It's a tie. I donate all the proceeds to charity.
Man,
The charity, of course, is Children's Fairyland, a place that I really enjoyed. Amber Fry, mahalo for subscribing with Prime. You can subscribe to anyone with that free Prime subscribe. You gave it to me. Mahalo for that. I greatly appreciate it. As I say, anytime someone financially contributes to my channel, I don't keep any of the proceeds. I donate it all to charity, and our charity is, of course, Children's Fairyland, a amusement park / 401k 503c in my hometown of Oakland, California. So 2 people says he has permission, 2 people says he should be in bed, and 1 person says for the whole stream.
So what happens when we do with a tie?
All right, so that means people kind of believe you.
Okay, so that's a full one.
I would say people mostly believe you.
Thank you.
Like, of the 5 people who responded to the poll, 3 said, we kind of believe Sam.
Yay, you believe.
Only 2 people said that you're a liar.
Hey. So we technically went with that extra option.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
Yeah, so that's what it was. 2 people said yes. Well, no, okay. So 1 person said he should be here for the whole stream, but they are not stating that they believe he has permission. That is a big distinction. They say regardless of permission or not, Sam should be here. That is what they're stating.
Okay, we sorted it out.
All right, so we're going to start down. These are the first 3 pieces we need.
The long black.
Here, I'll move over so Sam can build because Sam is just going to build no matter what I do. So here, Sam. Here.
Wait.
There. Sam is building.
I can't see what to do. You have to scroll down.
Okay, Toma says he has permission for the whole stream.
Thank you.
He may not have permission, but the stream is better when he's here. Yes, I would agree. All right. So we're going to start with these 3 pieces. That's what you got to do to it. For those who want to see what they're building, this is what he's building here. He's going to take these 3 pieces. It is always great to have an assistant. No, we haven't moved on to the next step. You have to show everyone what we just built. Show everyone what we just built to that camera. There you go. Some high quality showing. All right. Now, did you put those 2 on?
1 sec.
Did you put them in the right place?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Done. Next.
All right, this is what you have to build next.
What? Oh, I like
Super speedy showing. I know.
I really like when you put big pieces together. It's very satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
It's super satisfying.
Uh-huh.
It's very like just satisfying, but there's something just so.
Are you actually going to press the pieces in all the way, or are you just going to casually kind of connect them? Here, how about this? How about...
Hey, no, Sam is doing the work, and that's easy.
Okay, okay. Sam has assured us those are fully connected now.
Okay, next. Hey, I'm fully sure.
Okay.
Oh.
I forgot, this is the Sham Show. I am just in it for...
Okay, so we're flipping it over and adding 2.
Anyway, talking back to about how wonderful Chantella is. Everyone, check her out. She introduced me to so many people when she used to stream. I met her playing golf.
Ooh.
And she recently got a new PC, and she's going to get back in the game, allegedly, sometime.
Oh, shit.
So drop a follow so you're there when she comes back.
Yeah.
Ember's assistant lives further away than you. Like, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. My assistant comes in a little more often than I would like to.
Yeah, I always come in like every...
That's not where that goes.
Okay, it goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it's like right.
Nope.
One line up.
Like that.
Wait, turn just throw.
There you go. Good job. Oh, you're building overlays today. How are you enjoying that, by the way? So for those who know, she used to be a console streamer, and now she's making the transition to being a PC streamer.
PC streamer, nice.
Yeah. Toa's assistant is furry and cute. You can never say mad at her. I wouldn't say PC is superior.
Wait, what is that PC?
I would say the big difference between the two is PC gives you more options. It's a 3. It's a 3. It's not a 4.
Where's the 3s? Oh. You seriously have...
Not gameplay. Oh, yes. I would say the hardest thing to understand about the difference between the two, and this is me. I generally play on console as opposed to playing on PC because you're not gonna have any problems. Like things on consoles just will work, and they're not gonna have any interference.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think I saw the clip of Lily absolutely destroying Toa's Lego setup. I kind of need to see this.
And we're not going to have a pause in time to do it. Okay, so that means we flip it over.
Aw, that's so cute.
Okay, one of these.
It is awesome that you have a cousin that's following you in Lego. That's awesome. My nephews are really into Lego sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to like flex. Like, I built this set. I'm like, and here's a set I built that's 5 times bigger than that.
Yeah, one time my cousin built something and he was dancing around with it when it broke.
I don't even know what you just said, Sam. What?
When my cousin built something, I think it was the Statue of Liberty, he danced around it and then it broke.
Yes, he was dancing around trying to show off this cool Lego set that he built, and then it dropped and broke.
What was it anyway? I'm curious.
It was the Saturn V rocket.
Oh wow. So then it just shattered.
Toa prefers a mouse and keyboard to control, but you enjoy how easy it is to just boot up a console and start streaming. Exactly. Because that's what I mean. Sometimes when I'm streaming a console, or when I'm streaming my PC, it just doesn't work as well. Uh-oh, something just got clipped.
No, what?
Oh, this is on Toa's stream.
Wait.
This is on Toa's stream. There's a clip.
Let's watch it. I can't. That was hilarious. I dog and the cat just like got on. It's like a major wrecking ball.
She did it with like such. And look at that. She plotted that.
Yeah, she's ready for the Cat Olympics.
I'm sorry if you were just re-traumatized from that. What I enjoy the most is the cat's like in the background just minding their own business in a second, and then they're like, ooh, let's cause trouble. I agree. It depends on the game, Bear Shark. It depends on the game. Yeah. Yes, I could hear it. I don't know if you guys could hear it, because I don't think I had it fed through my microphone. But we could hear it. It is a good sound. If you guys want to hear it, one, you get to hear Toa's incredible voice. Like, my voice is gravel. Toa has the smooth sounds of the person who you would actually listen to read the phone book.
What? Is this supposed to be dark or is this supposed to be light?
Where? Those are supposed to be the same color, Sam.
Yeah, but which one is it? Is it supposed to... I think it's supposed to be, like...
Darker.
Darker?
Here, you can use...
That?
Hold on.
Why is it in there?
Because I put it in there.
Why?
Because it's on my desk, Sam. Let me do what I want on my desk.
I have my desk.
It's not on your desk. Got it. Yes, I could hear it. I could hear it. And again, because I don't think I had it fed through.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Yes, because I have the headphones on.
Can I hear it?
Well, we're not watching the video right now, Sam.
Yeah, I really want to watch it. Can you send it to me?
Yeah, I'll totally send it to you.
Yeah. It looks very funny.
It looks very funny. Sam, do you want to explain to everyone what you're doing right now with the set, or are you just gonna like...
I don't know, I'm just probably making some chairs. I don't know.
He's making some chairs or something. He doesn't know.
Okay, is that two darks again?
It's the same color you already have been using, yes. So it's the dark brown.
I think I'm building like the floor in many steps, which I personally think is very annoying.
You think it's very annoying?
Like, they're gonna do like step by step and then...
I don't think that's where that piece goes.
I know that. Oh my. This one's very giant.
I feel like you're gonna stab yourself with the brick separator. Here, let me show you how to... Are you sure you don't want me to show you how to do it?
No. I got it.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am so sure.
Brick separators are very important. Oof. I don't even want to think about like what it would do. I remember as a kid how tough it was at the time. Here. You're going to break the pieces. You're physically going to break the pieces before you separate them. What you do is you go under, and then you lift.
Oh, fine.
Piece down here on the ground. She managed to knock off.
Yay.
Oh my gosh, that's the most amazing thing about the world map, is it's got a jumbo brick separator.
Wait, let me see.
Hold on. Where is it? Where did I put it?
I need to see that thing.
It is ginormous. It is like the biggest brick separator I've ever seen in my life.
I have never seen it.
I know you've never seen it, but I've seen it.
Then why didn't you show me?
Sam, I don't stop what I'm doing every moment of every day. Like, Sam, look at this ginormous brick separator I found. I don't even know what I did with it. It was just so massive.
It's pretty easy to find because it's so massive.
Yeah, it would be easy to find. I just don't remember where I put it.
Okay, I like those sets. I guess this is...
Eventually I'll remember where I put it. But it's like 3 times the size of a normal brick separator.
Yeah. Well, now we can just look it up.
No, because you're building right now. You want a jumbo one, but you don't know if you want the... Okay, so here's the question. Do all the art sets come with the jumbo one, or is it just the world map? I think that's a legitimate question. But it also makes sense. You know, you don't want to have to just be taking off like 2 studs at a time. Pretty sure they all do. Okay. Then yes, buy a smaller one just to get the set and then never actually build the art set.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one step at a time.
You're going to do this one step at a time. Got it.
Okay, so it looks like It's another one, and it's another one.
Aren't the small ones? No, I think they have some cheap art sets.
Yeah.
I think they have some that are only like $40.
Yo.
I don't think that the expensive one that they're all that expensive. I'll look on Lego shop.lego.com.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, what does? Oh, that's easy. Oh, that's 4. Okay. Oh my.
Let's go to buy shop. Buy themes.
So what?
Lego art. Oh wow, they are like $120. Wow, I had no idea they were so expensive.
Yeah, like the world map itself is only like a grand or something. Oh wait, is it 1? I believe it. Okay, definitely.
That is insane. I had no idea they were so expensive.
So you had no idea you're just spending like a grand on the Lego set?
Wow. The world map is an absolute like deal in comparison to these other ones.
Oh, do we? Exactly.
Right? Like the Iron Man one is the cheapest one right now on Lego.com. It's sold out, but it's $96 and only comes in at 3,000 pieces.
Yeah, but that's a small Lego set.
But the world map is 4 times the size and only twice the price?
Yeah, you should get the price up.
Oh yeah, you're missing out, Bear Shark. Brick separators are amazing. But it does look like they all come with the Chonky Boy set. The Chonky one.
Yeah, some don't even come with.
Apparently the world is less valuable than Iron Man. That is a very accurate statement. But yeah, because that was the whole appeal, I thought, with those like other ones, is like you could buy 3 of them, make like a really big one. So you're talking about someone making one of those big ones for $300, and it's not nearly as big as the world set.
Oh, that makes more sense.
All right, Sam, I'm gonna give you one more step, and then you have to head off because that's $840. Right, one more step. One more
It's
step.
$8.39.
Yes, but one more step, and then it'll be $840.
How do you know?
Because I know.
How do you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's a lot to invest. $300 for that large. I mean, I'm assuming that they're very cool. I'm assuming they're very cool to have. But is it cooler than having the world map? Don't answer that. I think the world map is way cooler.
Same.
Thank you, Sam.
Welcome. Yes, I can find one of these that are darker.
Which one can you not find? Let me see.
Or unless it's like, no,
No, this is the darker color, isn't it?
no, one sec, I made a mistake.
Use the brick separator. Mahalo for being here, Ember. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome into the chat. Welcome into the chaos that is my son Sam coming in here and... Alright, let me do this.
Okay.
Okay. What are we taking out and why?
We're taking up this piece because it's not the same. It's one of those little pieces. This one. This one.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I see what you did. You did it all wrong. This has to go over 1, 2. So you actually made a lot of mistakes, and then you compounded your mistakes, not realizing you made a mistake. So we have to pop that out. And then that can slide down 1. And then you can put one of the 3 ones there.
3 ones.
There you go.
And then we do this.
Mm-hmm. No, that's still not right. Hold on, Sam.
1 sec. Yeah, this is correct.
No. Hold on. Let me look. Okay, I see where you're making mistakes. That's right. All right, Sam. Thank you for being here, Sam. I'm going to have to figure out what went wrong.
Bye-bye.
Aloha, Sam.
Wow.
Yep, nope. Aloha means you leave the room.
Aloha means goodbye and peace.
Aloha means peace, correct. But it also means you're leaving the room. And also, did not leave the room.
These.
Yes, please take your glasses. Close the door. I really do love my kids. I really do. From the side of the room, it sounds like you said aloha means pizza. Alright, what did he do wrong? So he made a couple of mistakes. Because he wasn't paying as close attention. So this has got to be 3. Check. And then this. All right, now all we're missing is a 2 there. And there it is. Right, because it's got to have 2 all the way around to fit in. Pretty much the same as peace, I think it works. I do agree with you on that. All right. I'm pretty sure Sam has not screwed this up enough that we don't have to double check everything he did. All right. Now this wonderful piece here is going to slide in like that. So this is what Sam has built so far. That's one of the problems, I think, when Sam has control, is like, I don't feel like I can... Okay, there it is. I was like, where did he, what? Yes, no, I reckon, and that's why I think it's important that I always iterate to them how much I love them and how much I value them, while also pointing out that sometimes they can be on my nerves. Again, I think it's good to normalize that. I think it's good for parents to recognize that. And actually, I'm going to pour these out onto the sheet. And I'm just going to slosh around on them. There we go. Okay. It's a little bit of chaos. It's all chaos at this point. Sam did a great job of nulling them. All right, so I'm going to need a 1x1 tile. That looks like a 3x1 light brown. There. Okay. It's interesting that they took this approach. And I'm very curious what they did. So if you notice here on the left side of the little chair area, they did a 3x1 and then a 1x1 tile. So what's going to be is you're going to have a stud here and a stud here, but you don't have a matching stud on this side. So just, again, I'm very curious what they're going to do there. Oh, this looks interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this arch piece, a tile, a plate with a rail, and then 2 of these snot connecting pieces. Again, for those who do not know, snot means studs not on top. I am not talking about congestion, which again, I know I'm congested. That's going to fit on very nicely like that. Toa, I'm Ami now. I love that you guys have switched roles. Switched to chatting into what? Now it also wants me to take the scissors and put the scissors in whatever this is. The problem is if I take it up to show you guys, that's going to fall out. So we're just not going to leave that there for now. We'll work on that in a hot second. Right, we need 2 more of these 1x1 plates. We're going to need 2 of these dark blue cheese wedges. And then a long 4x1 tile. Toa's computer needs a charge, so I'm letting him use mine, so Toa is me now. Got it. Alright, now this is looking like a doormat right here, like an entrance to our little treehouse. We're going to take these 2 1x1 plates, and that is going to go just on top. Want to make sure it's nice and straight and even. Why are you always so hungry after you finish eating? It makes you sad. As someone who has dealt with weight struggles my entire life, I know that pain all too well. Today was a perfect example of that for me, actually, believe it or not. So I portioned out what I was going to eat throughout the day, right? I knew I was going to be having a high point dinner because today is Waffle Wednesday. So that means for dinner in our house, we have waffles. And at lunch, I have waffle fries. I know, I probably should only pick one of the 2. But I don't because it's Waffle Wednesday. And I was really good at myself. Like, I was very happy with the decisions I made up until dinner. I set a plan and I stuck to the plan. And then I'm making dinner and I had 4 Oreo Thins while I was making dinner. And then while I was still making dinner, I took a tortilla and put a tablespoon of peanut butter on that, folded that in half, and then had that. And then I had my waffles for dinner. So great decisions all around. I'm very proud of myself. But yeah, I know that pain. I know that pain. And the frustrating thing is it's like, if I could have just waited 10 minutes, I had dinner cooking. I don't know why I couldn't wait those 10 minutes. What was so appealing about taking a fajita-sized tortilla, slathering it with peanut butter, which is delicious. We all love peanut butter, don't we? And then eating that. Milk is healthy. It is. Well, yeah, you either want more or to have Oreos and milk. There you go. So I'm on Weight Watchers, and one of the problems with Weight Watchers is I feel like there's certain things that Weight Watchers has decided is not healthy for you. And cheese is one of them. Cheese is one of them. Dairy is always an exorbitant amount of points. Oh, so this is going to be a bed. I wasn't sure what we were building here. But we have built a bed. Big craw. And under the bed they have scissors for some reason. I don't know why they do. Ami had feta cheese on your pasta tonight. Ooh. Yeah, cheese is one of those things that there's some things I'm good about getting cheese out of, and there's other things I am just not. All right, now it looks like we're going to be building the walls around this. It looks like we're pretty good with the floor plan in here. And we're going to be starting with this 2x2. And then we're going to be putting a 2x1 underneath it. And then we're going to take 2 of these bendings. And what we're going to do is we're going to position them in such a way that they extend outwards. I don't know precisely what the angle is going to be yet. But once I connect it into there, I'll know exactly what it's going to be. Then from here, we're going to start building up on top of this. So we're going to take the cylinder, click that into the side, the crosshatch, and a 1x1 brick. Again, I love the different uses of elements and colors and design pieces. It lends itself to feeling like this is a very organically built by kids structure, which I think is part of the charm of this set. I think it's one of the things I'm looking forward most about this set is that when you look at it, it feels like it is well constructed. Oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. Look at me. I'm doing it right now. Good thing I figured that out now and not later. Wisconsin would like to have a word with Weight Watchers. I agree with that. Kale and grape tomatoes, that's yummy. And exactly, and I think that's what a lot of people do who are Weight Watchers, is they are just so good about getting vegetables in, and the vegetables help with all those things, and I am just not a great vegetable eater. But that's always going to be a problem I have with diets, is how do I make sure that I get the food quantity that I want that are healthy choices when I don't want really obvious health choices like fruits and veggies. And every time I've been successful on a diet, it's been a time when I make sure I get plenty of fruits and veggies in. Like that's like most obvious thing to me, unfortunately. All right. So this is, of course, our magnifying piece. We're going to take a translucent little stud to pop up. And then, where is that translucent flame? Oh, it's not a translucent flame. It is a white faucet looking piece. That's interesting. That's very interesting to me. Yes. No, it is the actual magnifying piece. Toa, diets do not work for me because in general, I'm so likely just to forget to eat. Yes, that is a pain that I wish I had, my friend. All right, and then, okay, so we got that. That's built in there nicely. And then that's going to go on top. Because what I've noticed is when I forget to eat, I binge eat like it is nobody's business. Oh, yeah. Oh. But that's what's part of it. I know when I don't eat and then I get that opportunity to eat, I binge. I binge like it is. It's unfortunate how much I will binge if I'm over hungry. And I think that's what happened to me. Is, you know, me and the kids, we went to the park after school. And we had some quality times at the park, don't get me wrong. But I got home and I hadn't eaten and I just was over hungry. And as opposed to making good health choices like eating a banana or some fruit, I went right for, let's have ourselves a good time. And I think that's where I need to get to. I need to get to the moments of weakness grabbing the healthier food choices. When I'm not feeling weak, I can make good health choices. All right, and we're gonna have another one of these bending pieces. I love you guys so much. It is so entertaining. I love having my mic and just being able to mute it like that. There really is no greater ability to just be able to mute yourself quickly like that. All right, and now we're gonna come over to here. And now we're gonna be building some more of this fun little stuff. Yep. Yeah. I know. It's struggle. And if there was an easy way to do it, everyone could do it. If there's an easy way to do it. You think muting was the first keyboard shortcut I made? And again, I don't think I would be streaming tonight if I didn't have the ability to mute myself on the microphone. Because again, I don't want to like hawk my lung up on air and have you guys hear that. So I probably would just be like, nope, let's not stream tonight. Then we would have missed this wonderful conversation. I have the Elgato Wave 3. Emmy's going to be a bit gross here, but I like when I do Zoom lessons, you can mute myself to fart. Yeah, no. I hear you on that. I mute myself to fart often at work. All right, that is going to go in. Oh, this doesn't actually sit on the bottom. Look at that. That is slick. It actually doesn't sit on the bottom. It hovers above. So it attaches to these studs and that little plate so that it doesn't actually attach to the studs. It just kind of hovers above them. Well done, Lego. Well done. It's gonna make it less sturdy than I want, but also I think that's one of the reasons they put this piece in here to help lock it into place a little bit more. She sleeps above the covers, 4 feet above the covers. Oh, such a good movie. All right, we built that. That's on there. Congratulations. It looks like we're going to be building this other little shelf in now. All right, we can put this over here because we're going to be building this. We're going to take these two 2x3s, slide them right together. Take this 4x1 curved brick. That's just going to go into the back of that section there. Hold that into place. Then we need a 3x1. And then a 1x1 with a vertical grip. And I put the vertical grip in the wrong way. That needs to hold this brush. Because our friend, whoever's going to have this as their Lego house, is going to have a brush. So yeah, right now my biggest concern with this set is I feel like the tree I feel very good with being sturdy. This little tree house I fear is going to crumble if a kid plays with this. I don't feel this is as secure as I want it to be. I mean, we'll see what it looks, how it feels when it's done, when the yurt is done. But right now, I don't have high hopes. I hate to say that. I do not have high hopes for this right now. All right, we're going to take these bendies and open them up. We're going to take another one of these ridges and put it on. A brush for helping take care of the tree. Agreed. If you're going to have a brush, have it there. All right, now we're going to build some sort of shelf, it looks like. These wonderful mini wedge pieces. I started watching The Net today. I don't know if anyone has seen The Net, but it's a 1995 movie starring Sandra Bullock. And it's about like the internet being evil or something like that, I'm thinking. And it's hilarious. I've always used it as an example of like old movies that didn't really get the internet, and I've never seen it. So then when I saw it was available on Netflix, I felt like this is God's way of saying you have to watch this movie, so that when you reference it for other people, you'll know actually what the reference is, right? Because I've always traded on the fact that no one has seen the movie, right? Right? Like, no one could tell me, no, that's not what that was about, because no one saw the movie, or no one remembers seeing the movie. But here it is. Now I can watch it. And so far, it's confirming all of my, like, deepest suspicions. Like, the game came out, the movie came out in 1995, for instance, just to give you an idea of the sloppiness of it. And in it, the opening scene, she's playing a video game that has a virus in it. And she's, like, a virus hunter for some people. And the video game she's playing, it's this brand new game that's coming onto the market, and they're gonna make $1 million with this game if they only can figure out what the virus is. And the game is Wolfenstein 3D. And I'm watching this going, no. You've heard of it, you've never seen it, but might be on your ridiculously long to watch list. Yes. Yeah, and when I gotta know. Because again, like, granted, I know Wolfenstein 3D. Wolfenstein 3D. When did it come out? Came out in 1992. So here they are, in a movie about the future, trying to act like this 3-year-old video game. 3-year-old video game is revolutionary. But that just kind of sums up how sloppy it is, right? Because anyone who's into computers will look at this and instantly be like, that's Wolfenstein 3D. You're counting on people who know nothing about computers watching this movie and being like, oh yeah, this looks like a great game. When in reality, and again, I was not like an adult back then, but like I feel, and this is again my perception as being a teenager at that point in time, that everyone who knew who Wolf 3D was. And one of the reasons they knew how it was because it was such an early violent video game, right? Like before that point, video games had guns, video games had those things, but this was the first time in mainstream culture that you had a view, and your view was a gun, and you moved your view around and you shot things. And for all of us who've grown up playing first-person shooters, this was the first time we had a game where you could do that. That was the first time parents could make the argument that this video game was teaching our kids how to shoot guns. Yes, if Doom is considered the father of first-person shooters, Wolfenstein 3D is the grandfather of video games, of first-person shooters. I love that game. It is one of my favorite games. I played the hell out of that game. I still have that game memorized. You put me into that game, I know where to go in every scene. That's how much I played that game. And again, I think Doom was even out at that point. That's the part that really bugs me. Doom was out at that point. Pretty sure it was. When did Doom come out? Because Wolfenstein, the people who made Wolfenstein made Doom. All right, so Doom is a 1993 video game. Doom had been out for 2 years When did the net come out? Please tell me it's like the beginning of 1995. The Net, a 1995 film by Irwin Winkler. Came out in July. Production, we gotta look at production, began in October 1994 is when Sandra Bullock was committed to filming this. Filming was January through April 10th. So as of January 1995, they were saying to themselves, we need a cutting-edge video game for our opening scene of in a movie about the internet. Wolfenstein 3D. Quake might have even been out by then. Damn it, now I'm looking up Quake. Quake. No, Quake comes out in 1996. So for those who do not know, Quake was the next step when we talk about groundbreaking first-person shooters. It's Wolfenstein, Doom, then Quake. Quake, my understanding of Quake was a game was built upon the technology and gameplay of its successor. Unlike the Doom engine before it, the Quake engine offered full-time 3D rendering. Give me a Quake. Quake me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Might as well. So, okay, maybe they could have gotten an early build of Quake for this movie. But again, I think that just shows how lazy they're going to be with the storytelling of this. We used the Quake 2 engine for college course to make... yeah, Quake 2 was a big deal. Alright, now it looks like we're building some sort of shelf. I don't know. Let's see what we're building. We got these two. We have this front plate that's going to go onto it. Okay. I'm building it the reverse way. We're going to have to do two more on top of this. This is the one thing I don't really like about this green screen mouse pad is I don't have as flat of a surface as I did when I used my desktop. So I'm going to use this old Galaxy tab to flatten pieces with. It was such a pain to install because I had to get a version of Windows XP. Yep. That does sound like something you would have to do for college. This does. I'm so sorry that I'm laughing, but it is true. Alright, now we're going to take two of these and we're going to put them on the bottom. I feel like there was another game between Doom and Quake, though. I just can't remember what it was, but I felt like there was another one. I just can't remember what it was. But again, like I said, I was in high school and college for all that. So that was like, I was the target demographic for those people. But yeah, so just to give you perspective, Wolfenstein 3D was distributed on 3.15 inch floppy disks. God, there was one game that I just loved. I always wanted to play, but my computers were never good enough for it. Mahalo for being here, Toa, Ami, one of you two, whichever one of you is taking off, which I believe is Toa, talking to me and Ami. It's always a pleasure to have you, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please go check him out. If you want to hear someone with some sweet, sweet vocals streaming, because you're playing that popular game that everyone's playing, Horizon Zero West right now, right? I keep seeing you play it in the morning, but I'm like watching other people, unfortunately. So the problem is I get like involved in people's communities and then they make me a mod and then I feel like obligated to be there. Which, don't get me wrong, I love modding for people. So popular that nobody wants to watch it because everyone is playing it themselves and don't want spoilers. Yeah, no, I hear you on that. You say floppy disk, and that reminds me of a conversation you had with the group you had for engineering. Please tell me about that conversation you had for engineering class. All right, and now that has to go into the back portion of that. That is interesting. This is a very weird build they're having me do here. So they're having me build upside down, and then it slides into the grips on the wall. That's just such a fascinating approach they had me do. Very interesting. You were saving a document, Word, whatever it was, and what is the save icon? Yes. People will only know that because of the save icon. All right, so we're gonna take that. And it's a missing piece. Of course, the time I do a stream, here it is. Here I'm trying to play my son, Sam. And now that can go on top. And then that's going to click in right there. And then that can go, those two can go into there. Making a very interesting window. Remember, since the icon was an iPod. Oh, wow. I'd have a very hard time, like, talking to that person. Be like, no, that's not an iPod. This has been a very interesting build. They're doing a lot of really interesting techniques. Like, to form this window, that is a cool build because they are using upright, upside down, upright pieces to build that window. Mahalo, Lego. All right, now it looks like after this next step, I'm going to put it on one of these. I'm going to do that now because I'm just impatient. So this is going to go in like that. There we go. Yeah, that looks pressed down. So there we go. We have started the build here. Let's go to big crawl view. So we've started to build this lowercase one here. As you can see, it fits on the lower. There's 3 yurts in total. 2 and 3. This guy's having a lot of fun on the swing. Yeah. Oh, he's never gonna know. He's never gonna know the fun of that. This was a fun build. Mahalo everyone for being here. We're not gonna start bag 8. Yeah, we're not gonna start bag 8 because yeah, it's my 2 hours. So yeah, so on the next time we do a Lego building stream, will we be past Easter? Oh, my wife just asked me to be quiet. Let me go look at my calendar. My next Lego building stream is on the 30th. So we won't be past Easter. I think Easter is going to be... Yeah, Easter is the 17th. Man, Easter's late. So yeah, so 17th of April. So we'll have 2 more streams where we'll be able to do some Lego World Map before moving on to that. Let's find ourselves someone to rage. You love your age because when you first started school, there were no computers. And then there was, you save our project. Yeah, yep, I hear you that. Oh man, I remember when the internet first around, people were like, you can't trust the internet for a source. Yes, you can. I'm on Big Craw, right? Yep, I'm on Big Craw. Let's find us someone to raid. If you know someone that you feel like, hey, Craw should meet this person, let's go out and raid them. Please let me know. Put their name in the chat. I'm going to look at all of my following channels, see who I want to raid. And then we'll come back and we'll figure out where we want to go. That's always a good raid option right off the bat. Always is a good raid option. Ooh. That is a good raid option there. So I got someone else on that who I would want to raid. Oh, they just finished the game. They're good people, but they just finished the game. So they may be ending their stream. All right, let's see who you have. Let's see who you have. Yes, local. Local would be a good person to stream. Seriously? Aloha the Bot has already gone back. Oh, because I got rid of that one page. Whatever it is, I have to have this one page open now. Custom bot name, change to Aloha the Bot. Save. Send text message. There it is. Yeah, local would be a good person. I feel like I raid them a lot. One person I haven't raided in a long time who I feel like I want to raid. So I'm torn. Okay. We have an old favorite. Someone who's a good raid. We're good friends with them. They're playing Pokemon. And the other is someone who I've met recently through Hover. So that's the question. To hover or not to hover? Let's put that as a poll. Answer in the chat. New poll. Hover or not to hover. 1 minute. So if those who do not know what Hover is a social media network designed to help Twitch streamers have discoverability. It's like TikTok. It's pretty cool from that regards. I feel like I've met a lot of cool people through that. Ember, who was in here earlier, I met through our good friends Zyla, who I met on Hover, is an example of someone who I don't think I would have had in my community had I not been on Hover. Yeah. Oh, we got one vote for Hover. So yeah, if anyone is not currently using Hover, I highly recommend doing it. If you're interested in joining Hover and you're like, I just need to do a push in the right direction, feel free to use the referral code of Mahalo. That gives me what's known as gravity, and gravity is one way that you can get more promoted by the algorithm of Hover. So it looks like we're gonna go to our Hover person. I've never actually been in their chat before, believe it or not. Their name is Fox Hat. They're currently playing Jackbox Party Packs. But again, I follow them on Hover. I see the good content that they're doing. So I'm gonna mute them. But she always has funny stuff there. So we're gonna be rating Fox Hat. I do not have a specific raid message, as you guys know. All I ask is that when you get there, you spread the Aloha spirit. That's important to me. That's the whole reason I have my channel name. Fox Hat. There you go. Yeah, let's do it. Mahalo for being here. Mahalo for being part of my growth as leader and communicator. And let's raid Fox Hat because she's playing Jackbox. Let's raid Fox Hat. And don't forget to say, I need to take a swig. Aloha. 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 Aloha.